Shalom, and welcome back to Bnei Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah and Life. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. So this is the second part of the series of the Spy Chronicles. And here's the question. Why are they called spies? When you look in the Torah, for example, the book of Numbers, let's start from the very beginning. You look in the beginning of the episode on verse 2, it says, send the people, v'yaturu et haaretz, and they shall scout the land. Later, in chapter 13, verses 17, it says, go up there and scout the land. In verse 21, it says they went up and they scouted the land. In verse 25, it says they returned from the scouting of the land. What is it? What happened? How did they suddenly become spies? How did they change from being scouts to becoming spies? In fact, if you look in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 24, there, when Moses, after almost 40 years later, is looking back at this episode, and Moses is sharing with the people, he is reminiscing of the past. He's reminding them of what happened. He refers this as an espionage. He doesn't refer to this as a scouting mission. He says, if you look in verse 24, and they came to the brook of the vine, and they spied it. Espionage. So how exactly did they go from being scouts to becoming spies? I think the answer lies in chapter 13, verse 31. And it says over there that after the people came back, these men, these scouts, they came back holding this big, enormous fruit, this larger than life fruit that no one's ever seen before. And they shared their experiences. They shared what they saw. But then they gave their opinion. As it says in the verse, and the men that went up with them said, we cannot go up there. We cannot go and conquer it. It is too big. It is too strong. It is too mighty for us. You see, they were not sent on a mission of espionage. They were not sent to come back and give their opinion. They were sent to do the following mission, as it's stated clearly: scout the land and come back and tell us what you saw. Not come back and share your opinion and give us your input. The moment they did that, which sadly was not really a novelty of that moment, but rather, as the sages of the Talmud and the Midrash tell us, that unfortunately already from the beginning, they had this ill intent. All the way from the beginning as they set out, they already had negative feelings about this whole mission. And sadly, as far as these 10 spies were concerned, it was already doomed from the beginning. But where we see it explicitly, and the lesson that we can take away from this is, when you're given a mission, when you're given a task to do it as you're told to do it. Do it as is. Don't come back and mix in your own feelings, your own opinion. Once you do that, sometimes you've tainted it so badly, so negatively, that, like in this case, you can go from being scouts to becoming spies. Those despicable spies that change the course of history, not only for themselves, not only for the entire generation, but for many and all generations to come. So be very careful in how, we have to be very careful and very dedicated to our mission as the mission is.